Alright, I guess this is day 2 of the isolation bubble. Things are still going on, and who knows how long again this will last. But let's get on to it. What did I read today? I guess the first thing I was reading today was about the new hardware announcements by AMD as they were releasing new video cards. I was basically anticipating this because it should introduce a lot of competition, and since I'm looking to build a new computer, let's see what they came up with. As many people know, NVIDIA recently released their RTX 3000 series video cards, which basically jumped leaps ahead of their previous models as well as the competition, and in terms of value, it seemed really great. So did AMD answer back? And it seemed like they answered back in a big way. Today they announced the AMD Radeon RX 6800 series. Aside from higher clock speeds, which you would expect from more recent video cards, this one actually has very good power management as well. Although you can really get into all the little tech specs and all that, the important thing is, what does this ultimately mean for everyone else, like the regular consumers, not just the geeks, for example. Ultimately, it means more competition, and this was a great example on how that benefits consumers in every way. They definitely weren't shy in comparing themselves to NVIDIA's latest offerings, and one of the interesting things in looking at this is kind of like before with their CPUs, even if it didn't perform as well, they still posted it. I guess it makes it more transparent. And then with their very top of the line product, they compare their Radeon RX 6900 XT. This is their top of the line, and they compare it as well with the RTX 3090, which is NVIDIA's top of the line. And as you can see again, in many cases, according to their claims here, it actually exceeds the performance of that card. Or in some cases, like here, I see here it says Wolfenstein Youngblood, it actually performs worse, which it could be again for things like optimization, but either way, it's very comparable. So that comes down to cost, which is the biggest shocker, because with the price here, they just announced here for the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT, their top of the line model, it's $999. Now you could look at that at first and say, wow, that's really expensive, which it is for a lot of people. This is meant more for hardcore gamers, I guess you could say, that want the best. But in comparison, NVIDIA's top of the line offering, their RTX 3090, is $1,499. That's almost a $500 difference. And for performance wise, you're getting the same, if not better in most cases. That's competition. Again, that's great for everyone. But with the prices there, it makes you really sit there and think, which one would you go with? Either way, it's a win for consumers, so we'll see how the actual performance is once people actually get their hands on it. I know with NVIDIA, they're having supply issues right now, so this gives them an opportunity to essentially take over or capture more of the market share. I like how people are joking too, but it's true in many ways, where they're making the president of the company, the Lisa Su, they're saying she is an actual real engineer, and because of that, that's why the company was actually flourishing. That's always better when it's like that, where you have people in charge who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to creating products and stuff, right? For things like drones, I actually didn't read much in terms of things like hardware still. We all heard of those leaks about the Mini 2, although this one here talked about drones being, I guess you can say, used in police forces, but this one will be almost instant, which is kind of interesting. In this article, it says, if you call 911 in this Georgia town, a drone might respond soon. It says Brookhaven, GA will become the first city in the southeast to adopt a first responder program that uses unmanned drones to respond to 911 calls, emergencies, and to conduct investigations. On Tuesday night, the city approved funding for the Brookhaven Police Department's UAS unit, which will consist of 4 drones. Police will be able to deploy them to witness crimes in progress, document crime scenes, or provide a bird's eye view for officers on the ground. Not every 911 call will be answered with a drone, but Brookhaven Police said the project will give its officers more flexibility, availability, and information while limiting in-person contact amid the coronavirus pandemic. Saying, quote, it's literally a game changer. So can you imagine that? Once you phone 911, they could potentially just send the drone in to see what's going on. They do mention it's more cost effective, which most people would agree with. It says the drone response costs roughly 10% of the cost of dispatching an officer and patrol vehicle. And as well with this, a lot of people are concerned about privacy, and they said they will address it. There's even statements here saying the department to develop policies preventing operators from intentionally recording any location where a person would have a reasonable expectation of privacy, such as private backyards or inside private buildings. However, an authorized search warrant or emergency situation would bypass that policy. So would people be okay with that? I think this is just the example again where recreational people were saying all this time they fly it perfectly safe, they were flying it for fun, and when people are saying ban them all, they were telling you, you say ban them all for people using it for hobby recreation, it's just going to be replaced by this. I guess you could say like government related work, correct? Actually, with this production isolation and the fact that I can't go out because of the contract, I was actually thinking of just flying the drone out the window or something. Hey, it's a mini, I can fly beyond visual line of sight and all that, but then yeah, if something happened, then you wouldn't be able to recover it, etc, etc. But I guess all that news today gives me a lot to think about too again, with things like the computer, although parts will be scarce. I just did it for fun, just filming my computer. You can see all the thermal of it, the temperatures. That's actually something to consider when you build your computer. Other than that, another day I guess. Not back to normal yet. Makes me wonder if all those squirrels are wondering, hey, where did he go? Can you guys actually tell the difference between the Mini and the Pro? Because to me, it's a clear difference. I know some of you said you couldn't tell, but when you really look at them side by side, like what I've been doing, it's a huge difference in terms of sharpness and stuff like that. One thing I was actually thinking of trying just for the heck of it was those YouTube shorts. I think that's their answer to some of those things like TikTok and all that. And to my understanding, you're supposed to just upload something within a certain time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, see you guys later.